It was a caveman that wrote in. He etched it in. Dang, we should be recording.
We are.
We are?
We are recording.
Well, we're going to have to introduce it at some point.
No, it's just going to be... That's the intro.
Oh, because it's out of left field.
It's just... We just go into it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's it.
So we're in?
We're in. This is the podcast. This is out of left field.
Yes. All right.
So, first, what's the first thing that we wanted to talk about? By the way, okay, this is the first thing that we're going to talk about.
Let's introduce it first. Like what it's going to be about. Or no, go ahead.
No. I mean, this is fine. This is kind of like what it's going to be like.
Okay.
This is what it's going to be like, is Ty and I going back and forth with no real plan about what we're talking about. We have like a couple things that we want to talk about, but we also want your feedback on what we're going to do with this podcast.
Yeah, questions, input.
Yeah, if you guys want, like, I know it's obviously an audio podcast right now. If you want it to be video, if we, like Q&A sessions,
yeah,
whatever. If you guys want us, whatever you guys want us to touch on, we'll touch on most of it.
Yeah, but what not? Tell them what not.
We listed like a bunch of things that we're not going to talk about, like religion, politics, and basically anything. You guys know.
All right. So who are you going to vote for? Which pope are you going to vote for?
Which pope? So Ty and I are in San Diego for the off season right now, and Ty, yesterday, what happened to you? I guess you could talk about what happened to you yesterday.
Okay.
With your car.
Well, I had to jump it 3 times yesterday, thankfully, and I was on 1% battery, so I got stuck. Okay, first I went down to our parking garage and was going to get in my car, go to the grocery store. Had to go to the bank. Had to do a lot of errands, moving in. There's a bunch of stuff that I have to do in like the first week. And my car is still full of boxes from moving and stuff.
And your house is too.
Yeah, it is. Well, Matt's room is full of boxes. All of my stuff. It's storage right now.
Not me, Matt.
No.
Matt Lujan.
Lujan.
Matt Lujan and Ty are living together this off season. I'm living with my girlfriend Carly. Really close, right down the street. Probably like
skateboardable.
Skateboardable, walkable. It's like a 30-minute walk to Ty's place. But anyway, Matt's not here right now, so Ty is using Matt's room as a closet.
It's basically storage.
Yeah.
There's boxes
you
everywhere.
You took everything that was in storage and just pulled it out of storage and moved it into Matt's room.
Basically, yeah. So anyway, I go down to the parking garage, got stuff to do, and my car's not starting. I was like, there's no way that I left lights on or anything. Like, I looked at the lights right above me, like, they're not on. The light switch wasn't on, I was like, why is this happening? So luckily a guy pulled into the garage, and I was like, hey, can you give me a jump? And within a few minutes, my car was going. So I left it running for like 5 minutes or whatever, went over to the grocery store parking lot, put my car in there, went up, got a bunch of groceries and stuff, went to the bank that was right there, and came back down, car not starting. I was like, come on, like why is this happening again? Like, I left it running. I tried to do everything that I could, and it wasn't starting. So I went to the lady that was parked across from me. I was like, can you help me out? She had no idea about anything to do with cars. She was like, okay, it's fine.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. And it just wasn't working. Like, I was very confused by her battery.
Why?
It was not well labeled. There was nothing telling me where the negative part of the battery was.
I know the positive and negative part.
Yeah. So the positive part was very clearly in red and underneath like a little flap like they normally are, but it was not connected to like a standard battery. So I had no idea where to connect everything. So I ended up just putting it on something that looked like,
kind of like it.
Everything in there was black already. So I was like, well, this is black. I guess I'm just going to go with it for the negative. And it didn't work. And I was like, maybe my battery's just dead. And so I'm on 1% phone battery also.
0% car battery.
0% car battery, 1% phone battery.
Yeah.
I was like, this is absolutely my nightmare.
Yeah.
I always think about this. Like, what if I just get stuck somewhere? I can't call anyone.
But at least like you were in a city and you weren't.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I could have just asked someone for their
desert.
phone. But then I really don't want to deal with like AAA and stuff. But anyways, So I texted you,
Yeah.
and you came right away, helped me out, got my car going, and I made it home. All of my vegetables made it home fine. They weren't.
They weren't rotted.
Nope, nothing
Wow.
like that.
They
It
weren't
only
wilting.
took. It didn't take that long. Maybe it took like an hour, something like that. That I was sitting there. So I made it home. I'm doing fine now, and hopefully when I go down to my car today, it will be able to start.
We got to test that because we don't have a car here right now. If
Yeah.
that's the case.
I hope that it works out. But yeah, so that was my day yesterday. It was very stressful, but it ended up working out, and you were there for me, and for
That's-
that,
what are-
I'll
what are
forever be
friends for?
grateful. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I
for
mean,
jumping cars.
I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah, and you had big cables too, which was
Yeah.
really nice.
Not mine.
Whose are they?
Carly's, my girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
She's a big car jumper.
Her car probably does that a lot. She had 2 of them. I looked in her trunk and she had 2 sets of jumper cables, so I started pulling out both of them at the same time, and I got really confused at that point.
Yeah,
There was a lot of stuff in her trunk.
junk.
There was a lot of junk back there, like shoes, random shoes, spare tire, pictures, old pictures from when she was a kid.
Yeah.
I haven't even mentioned this to her yet. When I was
Do you
young.
think that we talk different enough that people are gonna know like exactly who's talking every time that we're talking?
I'm pretty sure. Yes.
You think so?
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
It's hard for me to tell because my voice always sounds. I mean, whenever someone talks, they like don't hear themselves the way that they think they do.
See,
You know?
okay, so the thing is though, I've listened to myself so many times now from
Yeah.
doing the video editing that I'm
Mhm.
used to it, and I don't mind listening to myself talk anymore, which
Yeah.
is weird, right? Like,
Yeah, nobody likes it at first because it sounds weird.
But now
Yeah.
I'm used to it. But I know, so I have a friend who's been in the industry forever, and he can't stand hearing himself talk.
Yeah,
It's just, I don't know.
you don't want to name names.
No.
Should we not name like anybody that?
No one. Okay, so
But we have to.
so
we
I
have to name like
retract-
Twitter people, right?
Well, my girl. So Carly, I just named her. So
yeah, but
do I
that's
have
not
to
her.
retract-
That's not her real name,
Yes.
right? Oh, it is her real. Okay.
So I guess we're not gonna. But we already named Matt Lujan too.
Oh shoot.
So
His name. Okay. All right. So we can talk about them, but nobody else.
nobody else. It's just those 2. The rest of the podcast. So that was yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I did yesterday. I was teaching Carly how to skateboard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then we got.
You get where though? You guys have huge hills by your house.
So we walked down to Waterfront Park with
Okay.
the fountains that go like that. Well,
Mhm.
this isn't a video podcast. So they
Well,
shoot
they
out.
know people know what fountains look like.
Right, I know, but they kind of shoot out at like diagonal, and there's a bunch of them.
Uh-huh.
It's right,
At an arc
right.
due to
yes.
gravity.
Yeah, and they're at the Waterfront.
Front of the water.
the front of the water.
The mouth of the water.
Yeah, right there. So I was teaching her how to skateboard and everything like that, and then this security guard came over, and we got kicked out.
No way.
Yeah, so like,
Wow.
yeah, we were like that stereotypical,
Yeah, the
like,
skateboarders, like
skateboarders.
out of school or something.
right? Like, hey, you kids can't be
He
here.
called you guys kids
no,
too.
but he was actually really nice. He's like, hey, I know you're just teaching her how to skateboard. You guys aren't like doing tricks or anything like that.
Yeah.
And he's
Not
like,
yet.
but it's their rules, not mine. He's really cool. He was just driving around the golf cart.
Oh,
Yeah, nice
so
guy.
he's allowed to drive around in a golf cart though.
Yeah, I know. What's he doing?
Yeah. Why can't you have a longboard though? It's not like you're grinding on rails and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but that's just the rules. That's
Hmm.
it. You just gotta. I'm a big rule follower when it comes to. So when he said that, I was just like, oh gosh, like.
Yeah, you thought you were gonna get arrested or
yeah,
something.
like so then I was gonna take her across to the.
What if he started like radioing in like, oh, we've got another longboarder here.
Great,
we got a
longboarder again over on Waterfront Park.
We're gonna need backup.
Over. But so I was gonna take her over there, and this is how big of a rule follower I am again, is that we were about to cross the street, not at a crosswalk.
No.
And so we start to cross, and this happens to Carly and I every single time, is that when we're about to cross the street, and I guess it's really big in San Diego, like jaywalking, like you'll get a ticket for that.
Really?
Every single time we try and cross the street, when it's not at a crosswalk, cop comes right by. So we went halfway through, I go, cop. We run back to the other side, don't get hit by traffic, but then you text me. and that's when this is kind of like Pulp Fiction, I guess. It's like then the event happened where you texted me,
Yeah.
right, and then now that story starts, right?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
We should write this into a movie.
Yeah. What did you do today? What have you done today?
Got cable today and internet.
But still haven't unpacked anything.
No, actually unpacked a lot of stuff yesterday. With all the stuff going on with my car, I was inspired to just get everything out of it because I was just very frustrated with all my car problems, and I had so many boxes and stuff in my car that all of the groceries I got, I had to put in the front seat and just like stack them up because the whole trunk of my car was filled with boxes and like golf clubs and stuff. And so I actually unpacked a bunch of boxes yesterday finally, so that I can start to have an actual living situation here and cook food and things like that.
What have you been cooking? Have you been cooking
I cooked
anything?
today for the first time.
What did you make?
I made just eggs, spinach, there's some tomatoes in there.
That's already way more than I make for breakfast.
Really?
Yeah. I just 5 eggs, some turmeric.
Turmeric?
Yeah. It's a nice little spice.
Sure.
Changes up the eggs.
Where's that from? Is that like Middle Eastern?
I think so. I don't know what it's mostly in, what kind of food. I want to say it's a big ingredient in curry, but I'm not like a big curry guy.
No.
But
I'm a big just tapatio or Cholula on everything.
I saw that what'd you put it? You put it on your breakfast sandwich the other day. Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going back in time again.
Yeah.
Sunday, we're watching football.
Yeah.
At Bar 1, and we met the.
I still don't know who they are, but
okay,
you know who they are.
So I kind of know who they are. They're like these.
Wait, are you gonna use their names?
No, so I think we.
You think you have to use their names now?
Yeah, so
because they're like famous people. They've already been on TV.
Yeah, they're pretty famous. What was it? Top Chef, Master Chef.
I heard Master Chef.
One of them was it was either Top Chef or Master Chef. Is that the guy was on? It's his bar. It's called Bar 1, and like he's famous. His name's Nick Nappy. He's famous for making gnocchi. So he's like Nick Gnocchi, and then so Carly's a huge fan of them, and so she was really scared to like. A fan of Nick and his wife Janelle, so
they had their wedding on TV.
What
channel is that on?
Probably Food Network, right? I don't know.
Do they televise weddings?
I don't know. I don't even know what channel Top Chef and Master Chef are on. I'm assuming that they're both Food Network.
I don't know. I know Top Chef is not on Food Network. Top Chef is on Bravo.
And that's why I'm not a big cook, right? Like I don't watch any of the Food Network. Well, like you can tell that I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I make my 5 eggs.
Oh yeah. So it all came back to that.
All came back to that. But so
now I get it.
So we met them Sunday. Carly was really scared. You even saw that too.
Yeah.
That she was really not scared, but she was just a little nervous.
She was like starstruck.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I first saw you when we came back, I was just like kind of like, whoa, like here's Ty Kelly.
And
like,
then
he just played up in the big leagues this year. Like I don't even know this guy.
And you tried to give me a hug, and I pushed your face away with my hand.
That was super awkward when that happened.
Not for me, but for you probably.
But then I was just like trying to win over your affection for like the rest of the time.
Yeah,
I still don't know if I have.
No, you did yesterday with the car thing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So you're back
later.
in.
A week later, thank God.
No, we weren't going to talk about religion.
I was just about to say that.
All right. What else is on our list of things? Should we answer some questions from the Twitterverse?
Okay, let's go to the Twitterverse.
Okay, so anyone that is not following us on Twitter or anything like that,
go ahead and follow us.
Yeah, follow us. But some people chimed in with some questions, which is cool. Some Mets
we
people
love that. Keep doing that. That was really fast how many responses we got.
Yeah, it was really cool. I didn't expect anyone to say anything, to be honest.
Especially because it's in the middle of the day.
Yeah, and within like 2 minutes. It's not even a thing yet, and people tweeted in questions. So that's cool.
They're loving it.
Okay. So from your girlfriend, so our plan tonight, since it's Tuesday, is to do
Taco Tuesday.
But
it's also okay. So this place that we go, we're just plugging everything now. So we plugged Bar 1. Now we're gonna plug our kind of go-to taco place on Tuesdays, which is called El Camino. It's like right down the street from where I live. They have half off tacos, and happy hour all day.
Uh-huh.
And karaoke. That's
Yeah.
kind of like what we were about to talk about. That's karaoke starting at 9 p.m. So
We need to get some sponsorships out of this.
yeah, what is this? This is kind of BS.
Yeah, we're gonna stop naming names
Not
until
stop. Yeah. So that place that I just talked about, like
it's terrible right now.
we're gonna bleep it out.
Yeah, we don't like it yet
Yeah.
until they start giving us free tacos. All right, so Carly tweets, Carly Wong.
I think Carly's been mentioned like 10 times already.
Yeah, a lot of times.
I mean, yeah.
What songs are you singing at karaoke tonight? Do you have a go-to song? Like, do you do karaoke a lot?
I used to do it a lot. Not recently. I probably haven't done it in like the past year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always game for it.
Yeah.
I always go with something like Usher.
Raymond?
Usher Raymond.
That's his name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't know
You're
his
not
real
an
name.
Usher fan.
No.
You don't remember the My Way album?
No.
He spells out his whole name.
No.
USHERRAYMOND. Now, maybe know what you want to do for me. Dude, wow.
No. I'm not that big of an Usher fan.
No, I think you're too young. Because this is like mid-90s stuff.
I never claimed to be a huge Usher fan. I just said that was kind of a go-to.
That was like the original Usher when he was like a little more edgy.
Was
like,
that on like
not just
was
straight?
You've Got It Bad? On
No,
that?
that was after.
Oh, see that's when like I was growing up. Is when
I think that was definitely after. That was probably the next album after My Way.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't know
My Way. You don't even know that song, do you?
it.
Yeah, there.
Now it's coming back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so you're gonna go with some Usher.
Maybe some Usher.
Some more recent
maybe
Usher,
some,
like Confessions or something like that.
These are my confessions. Just when I thought I'd tell all I can say, my chick on the side.
Said you got
One on the way. These are my
Ooh,
confessions.
are we gonna do harmonies?
Oh, so maybe we could do like My Boo, something like
yeah,
that.
like back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the words, but
There's
yeah.
always that one person.
That's good.
That
was really good.
yeah. So I kind of got Usher down, just like mimicking his. Obviously,
That's
it's not
pretty
as
high,
good.
too. Yeah. No, that was good. That was like
Oh.
in tune and in key and everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But then MJ might be another one that I might do. I don't know.
Wow, that'd be
I don't know.
tough.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do dance moves too, though.
Right. So but even Usher too. Like these are two guys who
Yeah.
are really good at dancing, which means you have to look away from the screen, which means you have to know all the words.
Mm-hmm.
The real question though is, are you gonna do a Nickelback or Creed song?
Absolutely not.
That was one of the questions though.
Yeah, I know it was one of the questions, and people are just trolling me with the Nickelback and Creed stuff.
Do you have a lot of trolls who are doing that?
They do. I mean, if I ever tweet anything about like music or something like that, they'll chime in with some Nickelback and Creed because they know what's going on. They know I don't like it. Yeah.
What's gonna be your karaoke?
You know,
song
I haven't
then?
done karaoke in a really long time, so I'm not exactly sure. I think that it'll probably end up being like some Sublime Santeria or something like that. Yeah.
I ain't got no crystal ball.
Yep. $1 million and I'd spend it all if I.
Yeah, I don't know the words, but
I know.
the
I think I know most of
tune.
the words, but I really just haven't done it in a long time. So that's probably where I'll start, and then we'll see where the night takes us. If there's a lot of people there, you know, we can't get up a bunch. We'll see. But if there's no one there, maybe we get like 5 or 6 songs in each.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
and then we start doing duets. Maybe we do like Casey and JoJo
Yeah.
and All My Life.
yeah.
So we could just see what happens.
And all my life, I'd pray for someone like you.
I hope the mic is picking this up well.
Yeah,
Because
It's
there's a lot of
pretty
good stuff going on. I
Yeah.
hope that it doesn't make us sound like we're not good singers. Because that's definitely not the case.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good in the headphones. So
Yeah.
it's got to sound good. To
It
them
sounds
too.
good to me. All right, let's do like a baseball question so we can give the people what they want if they want to hear about
Yeah.
some baseball talk.
Yeah.
All right, what did this one person say? Okay, someone asked. Okay, well, we should say who it is. Stengel's Ghost. So it's Casey Stengel. asked, what are those playoff clubhouse celebrations like? And also, what was more nerve-wracking, first career at bat or the wild card at bat? So this one directed towards me.
You. No, I thought it was me.
Okay, go ahead. What? Okay, I have a question for you based on this. Do you say nerve-wracking or nerve-wrecking?
Nerve-wracking.
Racking. Racking nerves, not wrecking. But both make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have actually looked it up before, and
which one is it?
It was like vague. It said either one is fine, basically.
What's another thing like that? Well, there's a lot of things that people mess up.
Yeah, people mess up stuff.
Like doggy dog.
Doggy dog. Yeah,
instead of like dog eat dog.
Right.
World.
What was the other one? The play it by ear or play it by year, which doesn't make any sense.
No.
But I know people that say play it by year.
This is one that really bothers me. Is I could care less.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
just
that
those
doesn't
things.
make sense.
Right.
You could care less?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? So you could... That just doesn't... It couldn't care less.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
No, but everybody does it. And we were talking about Reese's Pieces and Reese's Pieces the other day.
Yeah. It's clearly Reese's
Yeah,
Pieces.
but everybody... When you're a kid, everyone's like...
Reese's.
Oh, it's Reese's. And then they just
you're
rhyme
like,
with
and
it.
then... But
they go,
that's
oh,
the
Reese's Pieces.
But the trick is to just be like, oh, and how do you say pieces then?
Yeah.
And you got
the trick is to make them feel terrible about themselves. Like, oh, you think it's Reese's Pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So baseball.
Okay.
So let's get back to that question from Casey Stengel's Ghost.
Okay.
What was more nerve-wracking for you?
Let's. So this is my first. This is my first big league clubhouse celebration, obviously, and it was very fun. I will say one thing. It's kind of weird just getting the wild card though, because you don't know, like, do you only get one more game? Like,
right.
Are you celebrating to just be in that one more game? Obviously, like, it's playoffs now. It's
right.
it's the way things are structured. It's just kind of weird. It was sort of weird to me. Like, I mean, it was a very tame celebration
right.
for sure.
Well, and that's also why they structured it that way too, is to create
more teams get in.
Right, but also, like, you can't just back into that wild card spot anymore on purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like that. I think there was a time where it was Yankees Red Sox, and like one of the teams wanted like a certain matchup.
Uh-huh.
And that was kind of like the last straw
right.
of like, it was like,
okay.
oh no, okay, you can have the division title, that's fine, we'll take the wild card.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so you can't do that anymore. It's not worth the risk.
Right. Yeah, because you never know. One
right.
game, someone has a really good game. I mean, there's nothing that's guaranteed.
Right. Exactly.
Obviously, for us, we had Noah threw like 7 innings of like 3 hits or something like that.
Yeah.
We still lost.
And then I watched you get a knock off of Bumgarner, which.
Yeah. So that'll bring us into the next part of the question. What was more nerve-wracking, the first career at bat or a wild card? And I would say definitely first career at bat was more nerve-wracking. Not because I was like not confident or unsure of anything. It's just a whole new experience. You know, the first of anything is always really hard. You know, just like getting comfortable in a certain situation, whether I was facing Strasburg, who I was facing, or like some guy that I'd faced 1,000 times in the minor leagues that happened to also be there. Like, it's just a whole new, you're in a new like big stadium, and you got way more people watching and stuff, and it's just the whole like new situation that makes it tougher.
Yeah.
But the wild card at bat, I was really not that nervous. Like there wasn't any.
Were they both pinch hit rolls? Was your first?
No, I started.
Okay.
I started my second day in the big leagues.
Okay.
Against Strasburg, and struck out 3 times. But you know,
But you never strike out.
No, so I struck out 3 times, and then the whole rest of the time, I finished with like 9 strikeouts for the, I don't know how many bats I got, maybe in the 60s, maybe,
Yeah.
or something like that. So, yeah, that's just how it goes. But wild card at bat, I actually was not that nervous because I'd faced Bumgarner early. I started against Bumgarner earlier in the year in August, and I saw him pretty well. Like, I mean, he throws at just a crazy angle. But I faced
him in spring training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine facing lefty.
Yeah, lefty.
That must be ridiculous.
He was pissed.
Yeah. He was mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it was like spring training or whatever.
Yeah. And it was on like the minor league fields too.
Yeah.
Still mad.
Well, that's who he is. That's why he's. I mean, that's why he's good.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he's a competitor.
Exactly.
I
struck out the next at bat.
Oh, you faced him again?
Yeah.
Oh, you never mentioned that before.
I didn't know.
I thought you faced him one time and walked.
I struck out against him.
That's funny. But yeah, so it was like there's nobody on base and one out, and I was like, I'm just gonna try to have a good at bat, hit it hard, whatever. I mean, there are very low expectations for that kind of at bat.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like the manager's putting him in because he wants me to get on base and stuff, but I mean, I was feeling pretty confident. I'd already faced him, and I ended up just throwing the bat out there and got a hit.
So basically, like taking pressure off of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of
thing there.
Yeah, you have to break it down for what it is. You know, I mean, as a right-handed hitter, I'm more of a like singles guy, see pitches, stuff like that. So once you can like break it down into just being another at bat, I mean, then it's going to be a lot easier to be successful.
And left-handed, you're more of like a bombs guy.
Huge bombs guy, yeah.
Yeah, just home runs.
Just like strictly home runs.
Like double-deckers.
Yeah, triple deckers sometimes.
Moonshots.
Depends how many deckers there
Really?
are. Yeah. Long bombs away.
Monster grand slams.
Yeah. But yeah, so I wasn't like super nervous, but I was obviously very excited when I got a hit, and then I got to come into the dugout and just chill for the rest of the game. It was unfortunate that we lost, but that's the way baseball goes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
talking about the one-game playoff.
Yeah, that's the way that the Wildcat
offense is set up.
That's how the Wildcat offense is set up.
You know,
you're just gonna hand it off to the running back sometimes. Sometimes he's gonna
snap. Yeah.
Sometimes he's gonna lateral it to someone else.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. So let's get into this next question from Win Carroll. Win asked, "Who has the best walk-up music?" Let's just rephrase that to like, what makes a good walk-up song?
I like that.
Yeah. So what do you think makes a good walk-up song?
Okay, I think that what makes a good walk-up
for a
song,
hitter. Let's do for a hitter.
Right. Okay. So you've got to have something. You only have like 10, 12 seconds maybe, depending on what stadium you're at.
To make it unique.
Yeah. Right. And so you've got to pick the part of the song that has some rhythm, has like a good beat that gets going, that people can kind of nod their head to or get fired up for, or something like that. And also, I think it's a big like self-expression kind of thing. Yeah. So definitely. You get to, a lot of people from the South have like a country song or something like that. I have a song by the Expendables. They're from Santa Cruz. They're kind of like a reggae rock sort of band. So
people can kind of get to know you in that way.
All of the Latin guys have some sort of Latin song.
Right. Exactly. So something that I do is I try and make it unique. Like, so for example, when I was playing in San Jose, I used the Silicon Valley, the show.
Okay, yeah,
I
like
used
that.
the intro music for that. So I just thought it was a cool way to add that.
Yeah,
into.
For sure.
But when I was in Augusta, I used something that I've used in the past is Hip Hop Hooray, which kind of rhymes with my last name, like Matt Pare,
right.
Hip Hop Hooray,
and your Twitter handle.
Exactly. Yes.
Is it hip? It's just hip, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, because it used to be Hip Hop Parade.
Okay, and you changed it.
I changed it because people used to think that I rapped.
Right.
Which I guess I do now in that parody music video that we did.
Yeah, and tonight maybe too.
And maybe tonight, yeah. So I can't change it back though now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but now it's stuck at hip underscore parade.
It makes more sense in print to be hip.
Right, because you can't add the accent when you're doing that. So I thought I'd do something to let people know what my name, how it's pronounced. But yeah, I think you're right about a walk-up song has to be catchy because it has to hit really quick and make people either go like, "Oh, that's sick!" Like something novel that they may have never heard before.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's getting really deep into it though. Like you got to scour looking for a walk-up song.
Yeah.
And some guys like get anxiety about picking walk-up songs too.
Well, some people change it all the time too, depending on how they're doing.
Did you change yours at all this season?
No, I haven't changed it since I think 2011, maybe 2010 actually.
Really?
I've only changed. All I've ever changed since then is the time that
point?
the starting time.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at 9 seconds. Sacrifice the Expendables.
I gotta listen to it.
You've never heard it?
I feel like I have.
I'm sure you've heard it. Yeah, I've definitely played it before.
All right. We'll take a listen.
Remember
after
in the
this.
cage last year when I would walk into the cage and I would have the boombox on my shoulder? It's that song.
Oh, the
Whenever I start hitting, I put it on
right away. That's
Yeah.
like your go-to.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, we have to figure out ideas for the upcoming video for you for this week.
Yeah, this week's video. So this is kind of like another reason why we're doing this podcast is to figure out, like, just brainstorming ideas for this week's video.
And should we talk about like ideas that we already have, or
Yeah,
with
like-
the risk of possibly other people stealing them? Does that matter to us?
No,
Doesn't
that's
matter.
fine.
Okay.
As long as they're out there for people to see, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if everyone's making videos,
Yeah.
it's cool.
More power to you.
Yeah. So your place kind of looks like a hotel.
Does it?
Yeah, like, well, the outside of it does.
Yeah.
Not your actual apartment, but the hallways really look hotel-y,
Yeah.
if that's, a way to
That's a
describe it.
Yeah.
And I've had this sketch that I've been sitting on for a while now. It's already written out and everything. I planned it. It's called The Bus Heist.
Do we need a bus though?
That's the only thing. But you see buses running around all the time here.
Okay.
So, like-
but don't you have to be on the bus at
Yeah,
some
but
point?
like,
You want to rent the bus out?
I don't have that kind of money. I don't.
No.
No, neither of us do, to just rent a bus like that. So I think that one, but it's a really good idea. And so it's like two guys are sick of doubling up on the bus, so they plan this whole elaborate scheme.
How many people are in the sketch?
It'd just be like 3 or 4
Okay.
people.
I was gonna say we should just do it on here, and people can use their imaginations of what it
And
looks like.
But there's the music though that you'd have to add into it too.
And we can't pay people for that.
Right. Well, not like, obviously I could put the music in post, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of work, and I'm just gonna upload this right after we're done.
Yeah.
But that's something that I've already done with, and I want to work on. There's also, we were texting each other back and forth during the season about video ideas. What was one of them that you had?
Sports science.
What was that one?
The like a fake sports science. Just because
So
I think
so similar to like what Daniel Tosh did.
probably I don't know that I've seen that
He
one.
did like a parody on ESPN.
Oh,
and, like,
really?
used the sports science guy
Yeah.
as a way to do it because they stole his web redemption thing. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Are you ready
yeah.
to give it another shot?
I think I did see that.
And they asked literally the same question.
Yeah, they like set it up the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could still do that though, couldn't we?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how he did it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we could do it.
Yeah. But so there was one more that you
I just
There are a
I've
few
always
more,
just thought that sports science was like sort of ridiculous for just like the units of measurement that they use.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll be like he catches a football and like the grip that he has on the ball is like this many like per torque per square inch of force, like on it's equivalent to, but it's just like they just don't make, they're not like real world like units of measurement, you know.
Okay.
Like he grabs the ball and
But
it's
those
like
are-
it's
but
like
that's
an
physics,
elephant
though.
like sitting on top of a
okay
car
alright.
or
so
something
like, but it's
that.
something
It's like,
unrelatable
what's-
like that, and you're like, I don't even know
Yeah.
what that would be like.
It's like a totally normal thing, and then like they start relating it with stuff that doesn't make any sense.
right.
I mean, it makes sense to them.
People
but
normally
like,
say like, oh, 4 football fields, and that makes sense. Like, oh, that's I know
Yeah,
what
not
one
that,
football
yeah.
field looks like. So
yeah,
I
but
can
when
only
they're
imagine what 4
measuring
football
like
fields is
like force and stuff like that,
Right.
like they just start comparing it to stuff that just would never happen. Like I was just thinking like, oh, this is just like an elephant sitting on top of like a small Mitsubishi.
and you're just like, I
It's
don't
like,
even know what
okay,
a
like
small
why?
elephant feels like.
Yeah, like why is that going to help me figure out how much force this is?
Here's a question. No, I don't think we want to answer something like that.
How come baseball players never speak out on social issues like players in other sports. Was that true?
I don't know.
I just don't do it because you're never gonna like satisfy everybody.
That's from Vintage Card Fan too. Yeah, exactly. It's divisive.
I don't know why.
too.
Yeah, I mean, why am I qualified to talk about social issues?
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you there. So we're not going to use this podcast to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if it's something that like really affects you, and like you have personal experiences with whatever's going on, then great. Like you can talk about it. But I don't feel like I have the qualifications to speak out on very many like social issues.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, this is a good one. From Stephanie Klotfelter. How do you pronounce that?
Klotfelter. Yeah, she always responds to our stuff.
Hi, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Hi.
She sent me a Snapchat this morning of her son, I think.
Yes.
Wearing one of my jerseys.
Your jerseys?
No, like the jersey, you know?
Oh,
like
the
just
shirt
the shirt
jersey.
jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
So let me answer her question. Hold on, or let me ask her question for her. What must a first-time visitor experience in San Diego? Kid-friendly, of course. And can you swim in the ocean in November?
Yeah, you can swim in the ocean anytime.
Yes, you can definitely swim in the ocean.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, but...
It'll be November. It'll probably be in the, like...
It's in the 70s right now. It's getting
that
high of 70... No, the ocean?
Yeah, the ocean.
No, I just mean, like, outside right now.
Yeah.
It's, like, just to gauge it.
I would say the ocean will be in, like, the mid-upper 50s.
Okay.
In November, I would guess.
I mean, that's... Get in there, get out.
It'll be cold, but... I mean, usually the weather is nice enough. If it's sunny out, it's not that big of a deal.
So what would a first-time visitor do? Like, what would the experience be? Because, okay, so when I first moved here, I had never been to San Diego in my life. I just moved here and moved in with my cousin last off-season, and I just said, I'm here. So what would be something that a first-time visitor would do?
The beach, of course.
Which one? If you were going to choose one beach, like, let's just say... Let's just use hypothetically that it's a weekend. Like she's here for a long weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you'd probably go to Mission Beach because there's the boardwalk there and there's tons of stuff. It's really close to the amusement park right there with all the games and stuff, all the boardwalk places. So that's really like the only like boardwalk, I guess, in those beach towns. And then you're still really close to everything. You're still really close to downtown.
Right.
Yeah, so I would probably go to Mission Beach. There's Dog Beach also.
Dog Beach is fun. We went there a lot last off season.
The Ocean Beach one?
Yeah, Dog Beach right there. Well, because I had JC.
There's one in Coronado also that's supposed to be really nice.
Dog Beach?
Yeah.
And that's Coronado. That's
for
something
sure.
Obviously
Coronado.
you should do.
It's like a town out of like a movie or something.
It looks like a movie set.
Yeah, it really does. It's so nice and clean. It's have you seen Almost Famous?
With whom?
With who?
Whom? I don't know.
With
Who?
Kate Hudson.
No.
And with actually there's a lot of people in it. What's the guy from My Name Is Earl? It's like a real short first name. Shoot, I can't remember.
I don't know.
There's a lot of people in it though. Yeah, you can look it up.
Almost.
It's like a really underrated movie.
Okay, I've seen that. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people I think just don't know what the name of it is.
I've seen the poster for sure.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it.
Okay.
Who else? Yeah, it's a Cameron Crowe movie. Oh, Jimmy Fallon's in it. Yeah. Well, anyways, that one is like set in, or at least their house is in. It's on Coronado.
Really?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be something I'd say to go do.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to the border. Like that's
No.
like, because Tijuana's okay. I mean,
I still haven't been there.
You haven't been?
No.
I've
heard it's a lot better than it used to be though. So.
Yeah, I mean it was all right. I went. That was the first time I've ever been out of the country was to Tijuana.
Really?
Yeah, It was the day. It was Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I went with my uncle, my girlfriend, and my cousin, and yeah, it was fun. But we made sure we made it back before nightfall.
Yeah, definitely.
What else would you do in San Diego if it was like you had that? The zoo maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure. San
okay.
Diego Zoo.
So I went there 2 weeks ago. Carly and I went there. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know which one was my favorite animal though. I think the hippos were the coolest ones to watch, just because they were the most entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
Just because they kept going around in a circle. There was the mom and the baby, and the baby kept trying to bite the mom's butt,
mm-hmm.
and they like kept going in the same exact pattern around the pool. So I'd say that was the most entertaining animal.
Yeah. More things? SeaWorld?
Yeah, I've never been to SeaWorld.
Depending on your feelings.
Your views on SeaWorld. And I guess even your view on zoos. Like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe that's not your
Should
thing.
we get into this? Should we
No,
start
I don't know.
about...
I don't, because
Okay.
The thing is, I've heard so many
I've heard
things
different
about, what was it, Blackfish? Is that what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that it was very biased documentary and all this,
sure.
and we're not going to get into that. We're very indifferent about that.
There's a lot of research that's also done at those places. That's very helpful.
Sure. I honestly don't know much about it.
Yeah.
But if there's anything else, one more thing. Let's say one more thing.
Well, Balboa Park.
Oh yeah, if you're not going to go to the zoo,
It's at the zoo is in Balboa Park.
In Balboa Park.
Just tons
just
of
walk
museums
around there.
and stuff.
Yeah, museums. There's people playing music all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely go there. I feel like we're gonna miss something, and people are gonna be like, "What?
There's so
I
many
can't believe
things.
you didn't mention insert thing here."
Yeah.
And then we're gonna.
What do you
like,
think it would be? What do you think would make people most upset that we didn't mention?
that we didn't mention?
Yeah.
Wherever they're from, like their spot, like
their one spot, like
or
that
like
one
a restaurant, or like a restaurant that like.
How did you not mention this place? It's got the best burritos.
And then like we've never even been there, so like we're not experts on San Diego at all. Oh, Gaslamp, where you live?
Yeah.
How about Gaslamp? That's what people were going to be mad.
Keep going.
People were going to be. I know, but people would be mad.
You
Like
have to
what?
say-
You didn't even mention Gaslamp?
You have to say you should also probably go to the airport too if you're gonna fly
Yeah,
in.
because you got to go to the airport and then.
Unless you're just driving.
Yeah, the planes actually fly really low, so like be ready for that. Once you fly into San Diego, the planes are really close to the buildings, and it's going to look scary for the first time, and you're going to think like, wait, this is way too low to be flying. But that's just the way the airport's set up.
The airport is very close to downtown. It basically is in downtown.
Yeah. It is in downtown.
Which is crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And you can't hear them at all in this apartment, which is great.
Okay, so they fly right over my apartment. You can kind of hear them, but we have double windows.
Yeah.
So like.
But is it as quiet as this place?
No, this is why we're recording over here.
Yeah.
It's because
I just can't believe how quiet it is. Like we're in Gaslamp, and sometimes I can hear people like playing the drums out there and stuff. But it's very muffled, which is crazy.
And I mean, you have your guitar here, so
I do. I can just play along.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just use it for drum beats.
And you have the balcony out there too, so
Yeah,
you can just
balcony.
open the balcony and start playing for people in the
Yeah.
Gaslamp. So if you're in Gaslamp and you hear a guitar playing out the window and you look up and you're wondering who that is, that's Ty Kelly.
That's me. Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's see. Well, I think that's it, Ty.
That's it?
We're at 45 minutes.
Wow.
Just about right now.
We can really talk.
Yes, we can. Talking about nothing.
Yeah, what did we even talk about?
I don't know.
Did we get to everything?
We talked about our weekend in a very Pulp Fiction-y way.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about karaoke tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let you guys know next week how the karaoke went. Maybe we'll even record it.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
We can talk about the missteps and all that. We talked about baseball. We also
A little bit.
Yeah,
we could probably talk more about baseball.
We could talk more about baseball next time.
So
we're just kind of like the season just ended, so
yeah,
we're kind of like getting into
still going for other people.
Yeah, still going for other people. But
so I guess what people should take away from this is that we can really talk about whatever. So if they have things that they want us to talk about, more questions. Obviously, we got some awesome questions from people that we just tweeted it out and then started the podcast literally 2 minutes after. And we actually got like a bunch of questions.
A bunch of great questions too. So thank you guys for sending those in.
So send more questions, but also just topics, I guess. If there's something specifically like that you want us to talk more about.
Yeah, like even like, so Ty and I had a conversation the other day just kind of about like taking each at bat at a time. I think that's what it was, or something like that. And like, we could even get into the nitty gritty stuff of that. For sure. In another episode.
Or we could just keep talking about nothing.
We could do that. We can do both, I think.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe. I don't know where we're gonna be putting this on, like SoundCloud, YouTube. It's gonna be on my YouTube channel. What else? What else are we gonna be putting this on? I don't know anything else to put it on, but
is there like a podcast network?
There's
with like
I don't even know how.
People
there's
that
like
are
the
like
RSS feed stuff. It's a bunch of technical stuff that we're gonna have to figure out, but.
I mean, I feel like this podcast should be on whatever network like has like the TED Talks and like real.
I think it needs
like,
to be
big
put up.
Time podcasts.
This might get up to like put us up at #1 on iTunes. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we might be up there this week. Like I don't want to.
So listen to our podcast before they cost like 99 cents to download.
the archives and everything like that. So fingers crossed. You know, like I don't know. We might jinx it, but I think we're gonna be on the iTunes top.
Yeah, we're on our way.
List.
We're on our way.
All right, we'll see you guys next week with Out of Left Field, episode 2.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom. Boom.
Test.
Audio test.
Audio test.
Audio test. Audio test. Audio. Oh, it's an audio test. It's the audio test. It's the audio test.